All right, and we are live.
We are live,
Uh-oh,
coming at
what?
you live. How to know the opportunity? Okay, so I just saw the Facebook thing go through. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Uh-oh,
Well,
I had a problem with your YouTube stream. Hang on. Go ahead. Start it. Go ahead.
you're fine. I just welcome anybody that catches up with us. This is Two Guys Reselling. I'm Jeff Beeman online, and with Chris, Succeed with Chris, Luna, and we doing the eBay thing. This is our live that we put out to our YouTube channel, our Facebook groups, and we talk about reselling. We talk about mostly about reselling on eBay. We do include other platforms as well, but if you like that kind of content and you find us on our YouTube channels, make sure to subscribe. Or if you find us over make sure to connect and say hello coming in from. Let's see, I think that's the notification for there. And I'm going to refresh my Facebook, see if we're up and running there. Looks like it. And go over and check YouTube.
No, the YouTube stream failed. I don't know
Oh,
why. Your
it's not
YouTube
working.
stream failed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, your account did not connect properly.
Okay.
Connected 3 times, and then the connection died. So
Then it
I don't
dropped.
know.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on support with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. So if anybody needs to catches us in the groups or wherever, my YouTube channel is Jeff Beeman online to find it. I do my lives. I do daily lives there Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 10:30, and Chris is working on stuff in his background also, getting videos and stuff put together. So just keep an eye out for us. And you know what this week is? Star Wars week.
May the
Thursday is
4th.
Star Wars Day. Yes. Oh, that's like as good as Christmas, isn't it? Come on, man. Don't You can go out and buy yourself a gift. You may not be giving gifts or getting gifts, but we can go out and buy ourselves a Star Wars gift, right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact,
Well, we
I kind
just
of did. I'll show you my Saturday, the auction site that I've been working on. So I got some Star Wars characters. It's a little Obi-Wan from Episode 1. We've got
mm-hmm.
Queen Amidala, or Amidala, however you say her name, I forget. And then we got a couple Luke Skywalkers. I keep these for myself because, well, this one I don't need to keep. That's just it's the Power of the Force version, but this one, it's not going to has the helmet in it,
Mm-hmm.
to practice the Force with on the Millennium Falcon from Episode 1 or Episode 4. And then I've got one I didn't have one of these either, a ceremonial at the end of the movie from what was that one? That one the original ceremony was.
I can't really see it. It
Yeah, it was
looks like
hard
a
to see.
Ferengi to me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think this is from Episode 4, A New Hope, when
Mm-hmm.
they were at the end of the movie, standing up there getting their medals from Princess Leia. So yeah, I didn't have one of him in ceremonial dress. Now I'll put these up for sale. If they don't sell, fine, whatever. I'll keep them for my collection. But yeah, so I
Mm-hmm.
did buy some Star Wars stuff in lieu of. I'm calling May the whole. Well, at least this week, Star Wars week. Almost getting to Star Wars the whole month now because I don't know if you've seen any. I think I shared one. The Mandalorian. This is the May instead of this is the way. So yeah, we're stretching
That's
it out to the
funny.
whole month of May.
Did you forget about Mother's Day?
Do what?
Did you forget about
What's
Mother's
that?
Day? Yeah, exactly.
Oh yes, Mother's Day is in there. We will definitely take care of our moms.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
So what have we been working on today, Chris? How you get with your big storage unit by getting through some of that or
oh, pretty well.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yep, we're going through it, getting it listed. Some things need to have a bit of cleanup, but for the most part, it's going very well.
good. I was
Mm-hmm.
shopping I was shopping some online storage units before we came on tonight. I'm not seeing anything. There was one unit that's really clean and but the stuff that's in it I just really can't tell or what it would work with. It's kind of like part miscellaneous parts of different things. It's not one complete run, but it's got nice. It's nice and clean, organized, and it's got shelving in it. And it's like if nobody bids on it, I know somebody will eventually. It's got 5 days left on it, but if nobody bids on it and I could get it for under $50 by some chance of luck, then I would grab it
Mm-hmm.
just because it's a nice clean unit and I can use the shelves, put those in my storage unit because I do need more shelving for sure, especially as we're going
Oh
to
yeah.
uh, hopefully expanding the inventory quite a bit in the next few months. So over the summer,
Mm-hmm.
I plan on doing a lot of buying over the summer.
Oh yeah. You have to.
Yeah,
You have
got to
to
get these.
buy. You have to. You have to do because of where you live and the weather. At least 70% of your buying for the year in like between May and I think September.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Once October sales, yard sales are pretty well done. You can stick off some nice estate sales up until into November before you really get into the holidays, hot and heavy. So yeah, that's for this area of the world of the country. It's not 24/7 sourcing unless you know Facebook Marketplace is probably one of my best resources. I just tried to make a buy on some here a little bit ago, but she told me it's already pending pickup. So,
Mm.
but yeah, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp. I don't really get into Craigslist. Do you use Craigslist for anything anymore?
No, I've never used Craigslist.
I've got a couple of what do you call them, notifications set up on Craigslist for golf stuff, but I'll say 7 times out of 10 that it notifies me, it's somebody that's selling car parts or cars. The golf there was a car brand out there with the name Golf. I don't remember who made it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the foreign probably, but yeah. So it really hasn't done me any good on Craigslist to set that up. But for anybody that's interested in looking at different ways to source, you want to find um, the a way if there's a way for you to be notified to put keywords in of what you're looking for and let Facebook let you know that those have been posted or Craigslist or OfferUp or whoever and whatever you want to use. I know Facebook could place an offer. OfferUp's not real strong in our area. I don't know if for you it
Mm.
probably would be out there. You got a bigger population base out there. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Have you sold anything on any of those?
No, no, I haven't really listed anything on those particular sites. I've just been watching them,
Yeah.
trying to see if there's something worth buying.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
need to. That'll be part of the thing we can work on for our group down the road is those apps. Look into those and how to use them effectively. Maybe get some of our work that we, or some of our help that we get there.
No, maybe it just depends. Sometimes something sounds like a really good idea, but then you get into it and you hate it. You don't like taking the actions. You don't like doing the stuff, and not only do you not, but you're not really making any profit from it anyway. It's just sucking your time and not giving you anything back.
Yeah.
And we've all been there. I mean, every one of us probably most of the people in the Facebook group have all been through that where they jumped something because they thought it was going to be awesome because it sounds great in theory, but then when they get into it and get into the nitty gritty of it, um, the reality is you hate it, not making any money. It takes from you, but it never gives to you. So, with that being said, let's segue into our topic tonight. Um, Jeff, how did you discover that eBay was a viable income stream for you?
It actually developed over the year. My famous story that I always tell everybody is I've sold everything from a stone, a rock to a piano on eBay, and it all started originally with piano. Um, I don't even remember where we gotten it from for sure, but with the piano at some point in time, and as usual for most people, if you don't really get serious about something, it just becomes an eyesore collecting dust. Nobody's using it. So I decided to try to sell it. And I don't even know if Facebook yard sale groups were even a thing back then, because this is back in 2008 or 9 when I first started my eBay account. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd heard of eBay. I wasn't real big into that kind of platform back then. Uh, Knew about it for sure, and they did have local pickup available, so that was the only reason I put it on eBay was for the local pickup because ain't gonna not gonna happen. And I don't think we did it the right way. I think we went out of bounds on on the eBay way of doing it. But, somebody did say that they were going to buy it. They were going to come pick it up, and they did that. They paid me cash. Well, I then had to figure out how to tell, yes, this is sold. Yes, we've been paid. Uh, and they may have been a little bit more lax back then on, not taking it through because I don't think me on PayPal. I think cash. I don't remember for 100%, but that started my interest in eBay for sure, or in reselling. Um, and from there, I think that's kind of what started. We did garage sales every once in a while, never made a big deal about it. But more and
Mm-hmm.
more as time went on, and seeing eBay develop into some income, the yard sales started becoming a little more serious for me anyway. To say, okay, I'm just looking today. I'm not looking to look. I'm looking to buy something that I can flip. And I always remember feeling a little bit funny about that going to a garage sale. It's like, is everybody watching me? Do they know I'm going to buy this so I make money off of it? And I think a lot
Mm-hmm.
of resellers probably go through that in their first few months of reselling, or even their first year or so of reselling. And maybe now even more because people are videoing everything whenever you go to a sale. Um, but yeah, I remember that, just kind of feeling funny about going to sales and not knowing what I want to buy or what I should buy. And then, of course, just gave them $1 and I know I can make 25 bucks off of this when I get home. And I'd feel bad about it. But I think, because I've worked in a lot of different online business spaces, and over the years, the I finally figured out, a light bulb went off. I think I might have put this in an email a while back or something. If I would have only realized back in 2009 what I was sitting on, and instead of, everybody needs to go through the struggle. So I've been going through the struggle for a number of years, and then finally the light bulb went off a year or two ago. Oh my gosh, when I like money coming going out, my money coming in, eBay's the only thing I've made profit on. And so that kind of started the whole trend of being even the next level serious about reselling and starting to develop it as a business. And, fortunately for me, due to job loss about a year ago now, I had eBay there to back me up. I had a foundation already in place with eBay where I could kind of just take it from there and start handling it on a day by day basis instead of 2 or 3 times a week messing with it. And that back then we got well, we did take it. I mean, back it up a little bit to the idea that we did come across a business, which is where I've may have met, or you and I started working together a lot more on, was our drop shipping business back in the day. And I took that. We were trying to make that a full time business at that point in time, but things have changed the just being able to have the physical product and doing it that way. A lot of people shy away from that. They think, oh man, I got to carry all this inventory, I got to ship stuff and everything. And sometimes up front that does a little bit standoffish. But once you do it and work out a system, which Chris and I are doing, we're a system in place, and we've got systems coming down the road that are going to be there to help some people. Um, it's not that big a deal. You treat it as a business and you go on. But yeah, that was my start to eBay, was selling that piano. And then a few years later, it took a while. The drop shipping business helped quite a bit. That really introduced me to eBay and all the details of eBay that I didn't know. Taking the pictures and the titles and the descriptions before I was just winging it and throwing stuff out there and hoping it would sell. And that business helped me develop a plan of we got to figure this out. We got to know this, how to list everything. We got to know what we're sourcing. We got prices. We've got a business side of what reselling could be, and then transition back into the physical products. And we're all still working on continuing to learn, continuing to grow, and figuring out where we need to be for sure to make it consistent on a daily basis. So yeah, and I don't know, was me talking to you about that. That was your first kind of introduction to eBay back then too, wasn't it?
Um, when I had jumped on D with you, because I'm pretty sure I joined underneath your link, and we were talking about it back and forth. I had already been selling on eBay, but it didn't click for me that it was an actual business, that you can make a business out of this and it can replace any type of income you needed it to. And I liked that part about it, but I hated the drop shipping part.
Yeah, it
Hated
was
that.
there was a curveball there on learning that and
And
making it work.
it was a good experience though, because they taught us how to focus on goals. They taught us how to use keywords in our listing title, and then have similar keywords throughout the description. They taught us about pictures, how to center the item. I mean, the DSD improved my eBay game leaps and bounds. Literally, I transitioned from hobbyist to uh, part-time business within those, and it happened just in a few months, just a few months in DSD. There's a couple of things I didn't like though about it. Before I get into that, let me tell you how I really discovered eBay. So I had books from eBay before, and I'd helped friends sell stuff on eBay before, but I didn't have my own selling account until 2013. And I was really looking for an online income opportunity because I can't work every day. If there's an opportunity out there and say you have to do this same thing every single day, 7 days a week, I normally don't join those opportunities because, like I said, I can't work every day. I can't work 12, 16 hours a day. I have a lot of health limitations that if I try it, I might get away for 1 or 2 days and then I'm just going to pass for no reason. People are going to call an ambulance and then I'm going to have a big fat medical bill. This has happened to me in the past. That's how I'm still sure it'll happen. So I'm looking all through these different opportunities, and I fell in with a bad crowd. And you're like, bad crowd? What a bunch of, what, hooligans? No, no. I fell in with traffic exchange safe list crowd. And if you if you're trying internet marketing and you get tangled up in traffic exchanges and safe lists, what's going to happen is you're going to spend a lot of money. You're going to put a lot of money out, and you're going to get very little in return, because that is not a proper way to a business. I just got a marketing email today that goes through this whole thing telling me how to be successful, right? And they're telling me they were successful with mini websites, and what made them money is they just made a mini website every day until they had hundreds of them. The end. That
Mm-hmm.
story makes no sense.
Yeah.
Making a mini website every day will not make you money. Promoting that mini website every day will make you money, but you have to know how to promote.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to promote. I didn't know any of that stuff. I knew the bare basics. And of course, I was making money. I was spending about $450 a month and getting nothing in return. I was getting some subscribers, but I wasn't making any money. The subscribers, they weren't really that active because they were the clicking crew. They just go through and click, click, click. They sit at their computer for hours just clicking so they can get ad credit so they can promote their thing because they don't want to spend any money. This is the mentality of the customer group I was trying to tap into. So Bill Pescalito, he wants me to join the silver coin company, and he's making a lot of money with it. So I wanted to do the same thing. I like coins. Silver is a good investment, that type of thing. I didn't think I could lose. Well, the problem was I wasn't really investing in the silver coins because when I started really researching the company, but after I had already joined, I was thinking about making that big grand expenditure where they give you the kit and they show you how to go out and talk to people about it. And he told me to raise the money for what I wanted to do, I should sell stuff on eBay. I should sell stuff around my home onto eBay. And that's exactly what I did. I started selling on eBay, just little stuff here and there, making 20 here, 30 here, 40 there. But it wasn't very fast. It was like, 1 week you made $20, 1 week you made $30. And then Jeff introduced me to DSD. And they were like, oh, this is what you got to do. You got to get a Amazon Prime account. And then you jump on Amazon Prime with your credit card and you sell stuff using Amazon's description, Amazon's pictures, or whatever. And went through this whole thing. But then they told you it was made your own. So at first they showed you the simple, fast way to do it, and then they showed you the better way to do it, that promote a lot more sales, that type of thing. We were still using other people's pictures, but then they kept on saying if you could take your own pictures, it would be better, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I did it for about 3 months. Then I stopped DSD because I was selling stuff on eBay that I already bought. I'd go out, I'd buy it, I'd sell it, and I would make a return on the investment. And compared to online marketing, whatever it is you get into, whatever tools you use, whatever. But compared to that type of thing, the money I made was almost immediate. It was
Yep.
crazy. And there were still things Jeff and I had to tweak too before it really started picking up. Like Jeff noticed if you sell stuff for $20 and under, those items will sell a lot faster than the more expensive items, $50 to $100.
Yep.
And when I looked at that and I throttled down, all of a sudden, Jeff was right. I started getting sales. They started coming in 2 or 3 a day, 4 a day, not a week, a day. Think
Mm-hmm.
about that for a minute. You know, whatever online you're involved with right now, how long did it take you from the time you joined to your first sale? I guarantee you, it's months. I don't even know
Yep.
you. I don't know your story. It was months,
Right.
maybe even a year, maybe 2 years. Who knows? I know people right now who have been working with online marketing and trying to get it to work for years, and they haven't made a single dollar in profit.
Nope. No
And that's
profit. They
not an
might have made a.
uncommon
Yeah.
story. Yeah. What were you saying, Jeff?
I said, yeah, nope, no profit. They may have made a sale here and there, but no profit.
Exactly. Because think about it. If you join a program and you're paying $50 a month for that program, that's $600 a year. If you've been a member for more than a year, but you've only made two sales and you get $50 off of each sale, you're running in a $500 deficit. That's just off of your membership.
Right.
There's no membership to pay for in eBay unless you take it seriously, and you could pay for a store. But believe me, uh, what's that word? The credits they give you every month. So the store, what, $60? But
Yeah.
they give us like, wait, go ahead.
Say it depends on which store you get, but because there's several levels of stores now.
Well, that's true too. So I'm in the middle store. I think Jeff's in the middle store. So we pay roughly $60 a month because we signed up for the whole year. And that's another cool thing. They'll let you sign up for the whole year, but you only have to pay month to month, and you pay every month with the subscription than without the subscription.
Yeah.
The only caveat is if you try to cancel early, they'll want to bill you for the rest of the year.
Yep.
So don't make the commitment unless you're absolutely sure you're going to work this for at least 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it became apparent to me very quickly after DSD that eBay was a business, and it was so much so that it replaced my Walmart income in about a year and a half. And then a few years ago, right when COVID started, I had friends tell me, "You're distant. You don't talk like you used to. We think you're getting depressed. You should go out and get a job." So I went out and got a job at Walmart that was just supposed to get me out and sociable. That turned into a full-time job that made me realize I hate this. I hate everything about it, and I don't have to do it. So I think on day 58 or 59, that's when I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm done. Done.
Yeah, and your eBay income has really brought your wife home from working at Walmart too, right?
Yep,
For the
that's
most
true
part.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it supports the entire household.
Yeah.
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 And it's
Awesome.
just growing.
Awesome success story.
Hmm.
Yeah. I
So
think
you know
you know.
why,
So,
you know my
go
how.
ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going
No,
to
I was
say
gonna
they
say.
know our why, they know our how.
Yeah. Right. And
So all they have to do now is make an informed decision. That's it.
yep. Absolutely. Yeah. I was gonna say I think a lot of people get started with reselling when they look at eBay. It's eBay still has that feeling of being part time, just to go out and throw something on there that you're trying to get rid of and sell it, or you want a couple extra bucks. Hey, let's go throw it on eBay and see what happens.
Hmm.
There's still tons of people out there that believe eBay is still nothing more than an auction site, and the auction side of it is still very big, and it's a lot of fun to sell stuff on auction or buy stuff on auction. But eBay is one of the big hitters for what we call the buy it now product.
Hmm.
Most successful eBayers out there. There's a lot of successful eBayers that do nothing but auctions. That's thing, and that's fine. But the majority, you're probably always going to run into the buy it now, which is nothing different than going to Amazon and buying a product from them. Your types of products can be different, but if you go shop Amazon and go shop eBay, you'll find most of the you'll find the same item because a lot of the big corporate companies sell on eBay too, the same ones that sell on Amazon. Um, Amazon,
Hmm.
sure, they're the bigger hitter of the two for sure as far as traffic and daily sales and stuff like that. But I was just listening to our friend James on one of his YouTube videos yesterday, I believe, and he was talking about the other selling platforms more similar to eBay, places like Mercari, Poshmark, Etsy, even that he does a little bit of sales on, and he says it several times throughout different videos. If you listen to him long enough, that as frustrated as he gets with some of the glitches eBay can have, they are still and always will be number one in traffic for what he sells. And Chris and I sell similar items to what he sells as well. But so there's still a lot of old fashioned thinking out there as to what eBay is compared to what it can be. And you and I, Chris, and many others at this point in time have been fortunate to have that light bulb go off and realize that wow, this is really a business. There is a daily grind to it, but it's flexible enough for somebody like Chris who has some some things that can slow him down every now and then. It's flexible enough for that full time working person to come home and spend an hour or two an evening to make some good part time money. It's flexible enough to um, just get you in a position where financially you can take care of some things and not really get hurt by it because you may have invested some inventory. This is an invested inventory. I bought this to resell it, and you may sit on some of it for a while, but eventually it will sell. Eventually, if you did a few things right, titles and pictures and description and pricing, big that's the big four, I think. And yeah, it's got longevity to it. It's not going anywhere. Amazon's not going anywhere. The selling platforms aren't going anywhere because everybody is selling online and buying online. That's the important part. Buying online today. I was
Hmm.
I was talking about an auction site that I've been hanging out in here lately, and somebody reminded me of another one. They actually used to. It was a pretty big live auction. I live in rural Indiana, so north central Indiana. We have auctions, state auctions, and all kinds of stuff. Go to this was an auction house in a very small town, like blink your eyes and miss it kind of town, but a big auction house there. They've been popular for a lot of years. And somebody directed my attention back to them this week that there was some golf stuff there for sale, and I had not seen them. I didn't recognize it. It's like, oh yeah, that's that over in Yeoman. Okay, well they have switched everything. You can go in and look at everything live if you want to on a Friday, kind of get a preview of what you might want to bid on for this week. But all the bidding and selling is done online now, and there were a lot of negative comments about the fact that they've had 2020 with COVID forced them to go online to survive. They couldn't run. They could. They've got a very big operation, and they couldn't hire people. They couldn't have people working. They could. Everything was messed up during 2020, and they've just went ahead and kept the online as their business now. They still have to physically, again, you can go in and look at stuff physically, you go and pick your stuff up once the auction is over. But as far as sitting there and doing the auction and having employees taking care of stuff, they can't do that anymore. People are upset about that. And it's the mindset of, you know, a few years back that I'm sorry, it's all switched. We have to move on and live in this technology that we have now. And I'm just very thankful Chris and I had a foundation and a structure over the last few years. Our business is in a good spot as things developed. For some looking at eBay, oh, well, I don't have that foundation. I don't know what I'm doing. It's okay. There's plenty of room to come in and learn it and get started. And as Chris was stating, start making profit in a very decently short amount of time. You're just it's almost, I'm not gonna say it's automatic. The right thing up there at the right price, it's gonna sell its money. I mean, it's not hard. It's not easy. It's simple. It's not easy. It's simple. So cool.
Well, it's kind of easy.
Yeah, it can be.
I mean, it's not like when Jeff's saying it's not easy, you got to remember a couple of things. Um, it is easy when compared to something like trigonometry or trying to become an engineer, or heck,
Trying to
just
figure
trying to
Rubik's cube.
run your, yeah, or, trying to figure out your own mailing list is way more difficult than reselling ever will be. So it's not. I wouldn't say it's hard because it's really not that hard. You just have to have a little bit of discipline and a little bit of impulse control and be able to understand that you might be acting like you might be wanting to close a transaction urgently because of fear of missing out. You might have a fear that you might not find it for a better price or whatever it is. You have to still do that stuff, but it's really you go to a garage sale, you go to a thrift store, go through your own attic and garage and just look for items that are in decent condition that you think someone will want to have for whatever reason. And some people want things because, for instance, they're what do you call it? A vintage gamer. Vintage gamers are interesting people. So the game Duck Hunt, if you want to play that on the original Nintendo Entertainment System, you can't have an LCD television. Your television has to be old style with a glass tube inside of it. And
Yep.
vintage gamers will spend money on those old style televisions. So you
Yep.
just got to learn little crap like that. That's all. I mean, that's as hard as it gets. Oh, and you have to deal with returns without losing your mind and
Yeah.
understand more than likely return is probably your fault, especially if you're new. A lot of times with returns, because I read them in the Facebook groups, and I'm like, man, this person is out of their mind. Like this one person, they showed listing, they showed their photographs, took a photograph of inside the purse or the bottom of the purse. The person gets the purse and immediately complains that there's a hole, and they present the picture with the hole for evidence and stuff like that. This person thinks that the customer made the hole just so that they could return it. More than likely, a customer is not going to go through all of that trouble just to get their money back on something. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And then the same seller was complaining that they were selling these shoes. And in the title, they said the shoes were suede. The shoes were velvet. And the woman was like, anyone can see in the picture that they're velvet. So they should have. I'm like, no, man. There's such a huge difference between buying a pair of shoes that have leather suede uppers and buying a pair of shoes like a man-made cloth upper. Huge difference in price. But this person, this seller, didn't understand how it was their fault. And then when other members try to explain to them calmly why it was their fault, she called them internet bullies.
Mm-hmm.
There was no wanting to learn how to make the bad situation better. If you get a return, you're not a victim, your customer's the victim. and you need to try to make it right for them. And recognize whether or not it's actually your fault as the seller, or this person is just trying to pull a scam. Sometimes things get lost in the mail. I had to refund a customer her comic books because they were lost in the mail. I could have been a jerk about it and let her know, hey, you know what? You're going to get them eventually, maybe this month, maybe a year from now, but eventually you'll get them. No refund for you. They'd never buy from me again because they can see something tracking, but they don't know what I did. They don't know if I made a mistake on their address. They don't know. So from their point of view, they're a victim. I funded her for the comic books. I don't know, maybe 5, 6 days went by. She bought more comic books.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I was gonna
Mm-hmm.
say the whole thing on that is once you start into the world of even as a hobby seller, you're still being looked at as a business person making a transaction, just like you would if you were having a garage sale and somebody comes up and buys something and then turns right around and says, "Oh, wait a minute, this has something wrong with it. I don't want this. Can I get my money back?" I mean, most garage sales are final. I get it and so forth, but on occasion you
Mm-hmm.
may have that. Um, don't take it personally as a seller. Don't. I mean, you're just going to drive yourself crazy and drive people around you crazy by having that kind of an attitude about it. It's like, if you're going to let it bother you that much, then probably shouldn't be doing. Probably shouldn't be trying to sell on eBay. Let somebody else give it to somebody else. Let them sell it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I had a pair of all the golf shorts that I bought a couple weeks ago. A few of those have been starting to sell, and I've got one coming back to me as a return right now. And I think Chris,
Mm-hmm.
you and I were talking about the other day about the different platforms on Posh Mark. They maybe
Mm-hmm.
won't allow a return for a if it doesn't fit. Is that something we were talking about? If it doesn't fit, do they
Yes.
allow they'll
No,
let
they
them
don't.
return it or they don't?
Yeah, they let them return. Or they don't let them return it. As long as the listing is correct, they can't return it for that
Okay, so yeah,
because
so I've got
according
this
to
pair of
yeah.
Callaway golf shorts out there, and I got
Mm-hmm.
notified, and eBay immediately said, "Yeah, you can return it." And the only thing he put in the comment was "didn't fit." So am I getting all upset about that? Am I messaging him and saying, well, "Why didn't you look at the measurement? Why didn't you do this? And why didn't you do that?" No, I'm just like, okay, whatever. When it gets here, I'll refund him, and away we go. I'll
Mm-hmm.
send him a quick thanks for doing business with him. Let me know if there's anything else I can find for you. So but it really is funny. It's sad funny. Some of the
Mm-hmm.
stuff we see sellers trying to work with, and yes, there are the problem customers out there. Yes, there are, but again, don't take it personally. It's just a business transaction. Just
Mm-hmm.
take care of it and move on to the next one because there will be a
That
next
is
one.
true. And don't be afraid of getting ripped off because if you're afraid of someone scamming you, then you're going to alienate the majority of your customer base. For instance, I sell comic books, and yes, I have given some refunds on them, but not because someone changed their mind. Because either by my fault, damaged in shipping, and I do blame myself when that happens. Two of them got damaged in shipping, and one got lost in shipping. So far this year, I made two partials and one full on comic books. But that's it. No one has ever purchased a comic book from me, got it, looked at it, and was like, "Oh, I don't want this no more," and then try to return it. Normally, with books, media, that doesn't. The only
Yeah,
time you get a
very low
return
return
is
rate.
exactly is when it's defective. Now we get into areas that are a little bit more popular that have a higher sell-through rate. Apparel has a lot of apparel has a really high sell-through rate. However, there's also a very high return rate because eBay's trying to compete with Amazon. Poshmark is not. It's only trying to compete with the other small platforms that are similar to themselves. And they tell everyone, if you purchase something, you can't change your mind and you can't return it because you said it doesn't fit as long as the measurements in the listing are correct. Now, if you said something was extra large and it turned out the tag said medium, Poshmark would allow that
Yeah.
return.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The you were talking about
Yeah.
somebody sellers that alienate their customers. The one that
Mm-hmm.
blows my mind every time I see it is when somebody posts in one of the Facebook groups, "Oh, this guy is making an offer for this item and he doesn't have any feedback." Or, "Oh my gosh, somebody just bought something from me and they don't have any feedback. Should I ship it?" Yes, they're buying it. Who cares if they don't have any feedback? Guess what? They may be their first time ever on eBay and you get the opportunity to give them their best experience ever.
Yes.
It's just crazy when sometimes when sellers, and I know it's the being afraid of being scammed situation. Get it, um, to a point, but you just, if you're going to do it, then this let's do it. It's a transaction. Make it happen. So
Don't believe the rumors. So if you're like me and Jeff and you jump on you and you watch all of these different eBay videos, I can tell you right here and now, a lot of those videos are full of crap. They raise these issues, they observe these things because they want a YouTube video that's going to get a lot of views because they're trying to make that YouTube money. So they'll exaggerate, or worst case scenario, maybe they're just making up crap or passing along rumors just so that their videos get more views. But they're very dedicated to the actual truth of the matter. And the truth of the matter is, as long as you follow the rules, as long as you come up with a nice work pattern for yourself, you're going to make money. It's that simple.
yep,
That's it.
that's it for sure. All right, like Chris, I think we'll start winding it down. I think we've thrown back and some fun information, some good information about it tonight. If anybody out there has any kind of question, just we'll do whatever we can to answer as best we can. If we don't have an answer, we'll help find an answer for you. A lot of times, talking about newer sellers and even newer buyers on eBay, is contact eBay. If you've got any concern issues going on, talk to them. Yes, it may a couple of calls to straighten something out, but that's like anything else. I mean, if you call your bank over an issue and that person can't figure it out, then you have to call back. I mean, your mechanic messes up your vehicle, you have to call back. Whatever, it's life. That's the world around us. eBay operates the same way. Give them a call, see if they can straighten it out, or they can find somebody that can for you. Um, Also, for selling, this is a area that Chris has been. I can't get my finger pointing in the right direction. Chris has always been top notch in, um, when dealing with new platforms. Let him test because he does a great job of testing the platform out, testing the customer service out, testing this and testing that. And so many times new people jump onto a platform or an opportunity, and it's kind of like what is it, putting the cart before the horse kind of situation, and they don't learn the platform, they don't learn the rules. Like Chris said, follow the rules, follow the policies that eBay
Mm-hmm.
lays out for us as sellers, and you're not going to have a problem. You try to go messing around with certain of eBay, then yeah, you're gonna have an issue. So, but learn the platform and take. I mean, you can start selling right away. we can we can help you get a listing up tomorrow if need be. Start selling right away, but in the process, learn the platform, go through and read the stuff. I'm not good at this. I'm learning. I have learned, so we're better at that. But hopefully that's helpful for anybody out there. So, before we head out for tonight,
Nope. This is pretty much it. So, if you
okay,
guys,
cool.
first of all, thanks, Jeff. I appreciated the compliment there. But, if you guys have any questions or concerns, or you're just wondering whether or not we think something will sell, just drop us a line in Facebook or on YouTube, and we'll do our very best to answer your questions.
Absolutely. All right, good things coming, big things coming down the road for a new group that we're putting together. So we'll let you know more about that as we can. I would advise my email. A link will be somewhere in the comments on this video. I didn't get we did. Chris will send me this video and I'll put it up on YouTube later, hopefully down the road. But just get a hold of us. I can put you on our newsletter. Chris has got a newsletter if you can get on. That's going to be an important piece of group that we've got coming down the road, so that you can get information and know what's going on with that. We're talking about it on lives as well as we go. But those email news are available. Just reach out to us and we'll get you fixed up. And with that, I'm saying happy selling. Let's get out of here and go make some money.
Oh, there it is. I almost forgot how to stop it.
Yeah, it's down at the bottom.